Hello again. Thanks for joining me. Okay, this is video number 3 on our daffodil projects for our Daffy vehicle that's going to be parked outside of the Boys and Girls Club. And thanks for your help because we have a lot of decorating to do. All right, so if you've already come and picked up your project bag from the Boys and Girls Club, this project was in a little lunch bag and it was written, the words on it were the coffee filter daffodil. So this bag has lots of goodies in it that you'll be able to keep even after you've done the activity. So inside your bag, if you looked inside your bag, obviously you'll have a couple of coffee filters, quite a few, and you'll have a couple of muffin paper cups that you use for when you make muffins. You'll have a couple of these large wooden sticks, popsicle sticks, and you're going to have a yellow and then an orange. I didn't bring an orange home with me, and I didn't have an orange one at home, and a green marker. So you'll have 3 markers because those are some of the colors for daffodils. And a most special thing that you received in your bag was a brand new set of watercolor paints, a paint palette. So what we're going to do is you have enough in your bag to make quite a couple of, well, 2. Definitely 2. But if you have more supplies at home, you can divide up some of these coffee filters because I did put in, I think I was pretty generous putting in a lot of those filters in your bag. And if you have more of these at home, you can use these as well. And if you don't have these at home to make more, you can always just use paper or cardboard and decorate cardboard for the stem of your daffodil, your coffee filter daffodil. All right, so this one has quite a few steps in it, so follow along with me and it will be fun. Okay, make sure your table is covered because we are going to be using paint and glue, because we are going to be using glue again, or if you have a glue stick or tape, you can use tape as well, or a stapler or hot glue gun, but make sure you ask first before you get into using some of those things. Okay, so first things first, what you're going to do is clear your plate first, because we're going to do the painting first so that it gets all dry. So you're going to take a few of your coffee filters. You can take 2 or 3 or however many for your first one, and you're going to kind of flatten out your coffee filter. You're also going to need like a little jar of water or a glass of water for your paintbrush, and start and decide if you're going to use yellow or orange for your daffodil to start. And you can always do a different color for the next one. Or if you do more than one, you can do a bunch. So I'm going to choose yellow. So I'm going to get my paint palette yellow on my paintbrush here. Pretty good and wet. If you have a bigger paintbrush at home, feel free to use the bigger paintbrush because that might work. And I'm going to start with the outer edges of the daffodil. I'm not going to paint the entire coffee filter yellow because I think that will take forever. So I provided you with a small paintbrush in your paint set, but I'm going to use a big one. I had a big one at home because I'm demonstrating, so I don't want to be here forever with you guys because I'm sure you all want to get started on your project. So I'm just going around the whole edges with my yellow paint. Easy enough, going around the whole outside on the edges. And the reason why I'm not doing the whole thing, you can if you want to paint the whole thing, but then you're going to have to wait for it to dry because there is going to be some gluing involved, and we don't want to have this, I don't want to have the center of my flower at the moment be wet while I show you, because otherwise it's not going to work. And you can make it as dark or as light as you want. If you're not satisfied with it the first time around, let it dry, and then add some darker colors to it. All right, so now I'm finished. I painted all the way around the edges of my daffodil. When it dries, it's gonna, dry to a brighter color. All right, so I'm gonna fluff it out a little bit here, and it dries pretty quickly if you don't saturate it too much. Okay, so I aired it out just a little bit. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just put that to the side for a moment, and then I'm going to focus on my popsicle stick. Okay, so I supplied you with a green marker. If you have other shades of green, or if you want to use pencils, or if you have other, or if you want to do paint, if you want to paint on it, you can paint your stick green. But since I have a marker, I'm just going to color in my my stick green. I'm coloring in my, and you can do the front and the back and the sides if you want. And then also in your bag, you're going to notice that there's a couple of sheets of green paper. I put in a darker shade of green and a lighter shade of green, and you can cut out the leaves and put them on this stick. You can glue them on. I don't have any right now. I can cut some out. I do have some green paper. I didn't bring green paper home with me. And I'm just going to cut out some leaves. And leaves are basically just kind of a simple shape like that. Or you can do like the longer ones that come up from the outer edge of the daffodil. All right, so I colored in my stick, and then I just cut out a little leaf shape, and I'll leave it up to you guys for your leaf shape. And I'm gonna glue on my leaf onto my stick. Now remember, when you squirt out the glue using the Elmer's glue, you can use the tip to spread around your glue. Okay, then I'm gonna glue on my leaf on the bottom. You can have it angled up because the daffodil leaves, they are kind of long and skinny, but I'm doing a short and chubby one. Okay, so I have that on there. Then we can kind of put that off to the side as well. All right, so the next thing is going to be the center of your daffodil. And what you can do is you can put this one in. If you want to color on the inside, you can also use your marker to decorate the inside, because I think the inside of the yellow cup is white, but the daffodil has so many different colors and shades of colors that no matter what you put on it, like the yellow or the orange, it's going to look beautiful. And we're all going to know it's a daffodil because we got to get that vehicle all decorated up. All right, so I just added a few extra little things on the inside of mine. It's kind of hard to see because I used yellow. And I am going to glue it on the center of my, actually, I take that back. We're going to put that to the side. So our next thing, sorry, I got ahead of myself. What we're going to do is to make the shape more the shape and the petals or the leaves of a daffodil. I'm going to fold my coffee filters in half, so it's going to look like a half a circle. And what you're going to do is we're going to cut some shapes on the outside to make it look like the flowering, the back part of the flowering part of the daffodil. So what you're going to do is you're going to start on the edge, and you're going to kind of make, well, you can start this way, and we're going to make kind of 4 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want to do too many, otherwise it's going to start looking like a different flower, because normally the daffodil has about 6 different petals that kind of stick out on the back side, but we're just going to do 4 to make it look as close to the daffodil plant that we can, or the flower that we can. All right, so I'm going to do one kind of cut like this. So I made it kind of like a circle-y shape. And then I'm going to cut it at an angle, so it kind of cuts out like that. So there's like kind of like a triangle cut away from that side. And then with that piece, and I'm going to kind of round out, I'm going to make like a bigger rounded part of the flower. And remember, everybody's is going to turn out different, but either way, it's going to look great. So then I cut out kind of another circle-y part right there, or a curved part. And then I'm going to make another V shape, cut at an angle this way to the point where you stop cutting on that curvy part. Oops. Coffee filters are tougher than you think. Okay. Move those to the side. Okay, so then this next piece, I'm going to just keep it as is. I'm not going to cut a curve to it. I'm just going to kind of keep it straight like that. And then I'm going to do one more triangle this way. Pull it away. And then the bottom part, I'm going to do like a little curvy on the last one, but I'm going to keep it kind of big. Okay, and then round it off. So it's kind of looks a little bit, you know, each one looks a little bit different, but that's because flowers are all different and all different shapes. So then I'm going to take it apart, and so it's going to kind of look like this. Okay. Then I'm going to, we'll go back to this, I'm going to go to the middle part of my daffodil, and I'm going to glue that on. My glue has a mind of its own. I'm going to put a good amount of glue in the middle, and I'm going to stick that right in the middle. Glue that on. Pretty easy. And remember, if you want to add more designs, if you want to add more paint to your flower, the outer edges of your flower, you can do that, or you can color in, you know, different designs or shapes or lines onto your daffodil, because daffodils have a lot of different lines and designs on the petals and the flower itself. Okay, so I just drew some lines on there with yellow marker. And like I said, you can use orange, yellow, whatever colors that you want. Okay, then we're going to go back to the stem, and I'm going to glue that. I'm going to put some glue on the top, and you can pick which side is going to be the top, and if you're not satisfied with the shape of your flower, you can fix that. I'm going to trim this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Then you put some glue on here. And my glue, that gives me trouble. I can spread it out. You can put a decent amount of glue because the coffee filters are absorbent. And then you're going to pick a side that you want, so the top or the bottom, however you want it. And just enough so that you can still see the stem. And then here is your coffee filter daffodil. Okay, these are big ones. These are nice ones. Make as many as you want. Be creative. If you want to make it a little bit smaller, you can cut the coffee filter a little bit smaller. If you want to make different leaves, or if you want to make a bouquet of them, you can do that as well. Just have fun with it and use other supplies that you have at home to make any kind of daffodil type of decoration. I would love to see them because we need a lot to decorate the vehicle. So when you're finished and it's all dry and you have a couple of them made, or you could make a bunch, put them back in the bag or in a different bag, and you're going to return them to the Boys and Girls Club by next weekend so that we have our decorations ready. And then the vehicle will be ready probably by Monday the 27th. So that's it, and have fun. And I can't wait to see all of your daffodils. All right. Take care. See you later. Bye. Thanks for helping.